Hello, everybody. Welcome to Reverb's Quarantine Kitchen for another episode of our favorite musicians and celebrities and other interesting folks cooking their favorite sustainable recipes live from their own kitchens. I'm Adam Gardner. I'm the host. I am co-founder of the environmental nonprofit group Reverb that is normally on the road right now with bands like Dave Matthews Band or Dead and Company or Fish, Billie Eilish, Tame Impala, Lumineers, a bunch of tours that we were all supposed to be on right now, but of course, nobody's on tour. And we thought we'd instead bring some musicians and fun stuff and the Reverb vibe right into your own homes. So welcome. I'm going to take a look at the public thing here. You are, V says, let's do this. Hello, V. I am looking at the public comments over here, so feel free if you have any questions or anything you want to say. We'll do our best to try to answer them. This show, I'm excited to bring on someone I just met today, which is really exciting. It's fun that we get to do that. This is Dan Kelly from Fortunate Youth. He's a lead singer. But not only is he a musician, he is a serious chef as well. And I just learned just how serious he is. You'll see that he's wearing the chef garb, but not to give away too much, he has a lot of, he has some serious chops. So I'm excited to bring on and welcome Dan Kelly to this episode of Reverb's Quarantine Kitchen. Are you there, Dan?
What's up? Here we are quarantining. We're getting ready to be quarantine cooking here, ladies and gentlemen. Wait. Sorry. We got to be ready. You got to be ready. You got to wear the mask everywhere. It's my new thing.
I have a special app on my computer that doesn't allow the corona to pass through the internet.
Yes. No, you're right.
McAfee has a special plug-in.
Quarantine times, brother. God bless us all. Because it's crazy, right?
It is. Have you been?
I've been good, man. It's been great. It's been great to be at home. It sucks to know that you guys were just about to be out on the road, and then boom, it really it's one way to stop the world. Throw an epidemic in the fan.
Yeah, it's wild. But as you said, like you're talking about how a lot of your bandmates just had brand new babies, and so
yeah, a lot of them are having babies. We had 3 of them, so that's half the band. So that for them. It couldn't be more fortunate, and no one's really gotten sick. Everyone's been great. Babies are growing. They're finally getting time with their dad, the musician father. Yeah. Without this quarantine, they probably would have never held their babies the first few months, Because
you would have been on the tour? Because otherwise, you guys would be out on the road. Is that what you're saying? Like generally,
we would have been on the road. We've been in the studio. We're always been a very aggressive band as far as in touring, putting out albums. We've been together. We've been a band for about 10, 11 years now, and we've got, I think, 5 albums and a bunch of other stuff out there. A lot of work on YouTube. We always tour. We stay gone for about 6+ months a year. And we don't stop until we have to, No one really gets sick. We just kind of keep working. If you are sick, you keep going.
Right.
It's a love of the work. To be a musician or anything, you got to be almost insane to just keep doing it and keep going and keep going. And then, it goes on and on.
Yeah. Well, for this one, obviously, this one was enough to stop every tour out there. So, well.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's unfortunate. I'm really glad to have you here. That we wouldn't be meeting if it wasn't for this. So I'm pleased to meet you. I'm excited to hear you're going to be cooking Fortunate Gumbo for all of us.
That's right.
Excited to get into that. Excited to learn more about your whole cooking background and how you got into it. But before that, we were also talking about maybe making a little cocktail.
Oh, yeah. Cocktail 30. Got my Tony's glass right here. Got my little knife action. I made this ginger beer few weeks ago, so it should be perfect. I wish it did more of a pop fizz, but I didn't see that.
So you brew your own ginger beer at home as well?
I sure do.
And is that something new since quarantine, or is that something you've always done?
Definitely new since quarantine.
Nice.
Some bullet rye and some good old ginger beer.
I don't have ginger beer, but I'm going to use regular beer. So while you're making
your beer on.
You're making a Kentucky Mule. I guess I'm making a Boilermaker. I don't really know my cocktails.
Delicious.
All right, hold on. I want to join you here. We can do a little cheers. And for those who are following along right now, I have no idea how much of this I just put in my drink. So look out towards the end of the show. All right.
I'm going to change
Cheers.
cups so my
Cheers,
cup
everybody.
stays nice and cold, just like yours. You got a Yeti, I got a Wild Gear.
There you go.
So you got a little fortunate. You guys should check that out on wildgear.com. They're selling these awesome cups with our new live album that just came out or something.
Look at that. That's nice. That's a reusable. It looks like a solo cup, but it's a reusable. Oh, look at that.
It's a Wild Gear. Check them out.
Nice.
Wild Gear. Fortunate.
That's cool.
Just a plug. Another plug.
Hey, we're all about reusable everything, so that's awesome.
That's right. And your organization and everything, it's about, you use a special word where you can, what's the word I'm trying to look for?
Sustainability?
Thank you.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
job. Ding, 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 ding. So for me, this is my sustainability. Anything in this kitchen, you got to make. You got to, because we can't go out here. I'm in LA. I'm not sure where you're coming from right now.
I'm in Maine right now. Hence, hence the campy background over here.
So here in LA, it's shut down. Like everything's shut down. You can't go to bars. You can't. Even the grocery stores close at 7 or 8 o'clock. And at the beginning, we were out of everything. We were out of toilet paper. You're out of everything but flour, sugar. Things to make things. You got the bread that's all gone. So I've been having a field day of being sustainable in this kitchen without having to go buy everything. I'm more like, let's make everything.
Right. Well, that's amazing. Well, like we were saying before, there's nothing more local than your own kitchen. So if you can make it there, like brewing your own ginger beer or making your own kombucha or whatever you're doing.
It gets expensive.
There's that too. There is that too. So how did you get into food in the first place? Like first of all, can we just talk about you've got serious cooking credentials. Can you just brag a little bit for all of us and tell us what your background is and how you got into it?
Years ago, I opened 3 restaurants, but I worked for Wolfgang's. I had a few different Wolfgang's I worked for. I worked for Fleming's, Prime Steakhouse. I was always a cook, and so I did that. And then I had kids. And then this is like another lifetime ago, I feel like, because then, I stopped doing the cooking because you're gone nights, holidays, and weekends. Right. And then luckily enough, the recession hit after that. And I became an electrician, and that didn't work out. So I became a musician, and that seems to be going good. But now that we're back off the road, it's been nice to get back to the cooking. It's getting nice to show some extra skills and to make people. I enjoy cooking again. There's a lot of good chefs out there. Matty Matheson, go get his book. It's got some really good stuff. A lot of badass people that you normally would be hanging out in the kitchen are on these formats.
Yeah. So one of the guests we had a few weeks ago on the show was Katie Tunstall, and she said that she actually ends up cooking quite a bit on the road. Did you ever get a chance to do that while on tour, or have you kind of?
We love cooking on the road, because I got a team of 12 to 16 on the road, on the bus and everything. So for me, I got like 3 or 4 pressure cookers. And I go to town. I go to town. I got Corn Dog in the band. He plays bass. And we started the band. He was still in high school. And I was like 10 years older than them. So, getting on the road, he became like my sous chef. I'd be like, all right, Corey, cut this up. All right, let's do this. Let's throw this in. Now he's the chef, man. He's going good. We can do a cooking with corn anytime. But it's good you got to cook. You got to cook on the road. It's the only way you feel at home. You got a piece of home. A lot of fans will come and they bring us food, and we're great to get all that food and share it with the opening bands, the way that they get to really understand that the road isn't just the place you leave your home. The road is the place you make your home, and it's really important to make the road your home, because if you want to be on the road, you better make it really homey.
Yeah, well, it's like that almost famous moment. I don't know if you remember, but it was like, poof, you're home.
Yeah, like, oh, good.
You are home. Yeah,
that's totally exactly what it's about.
Well, let's get into this portion of Gumbo. I'm excited to learn about it, and we have the recipe for those who are following along right now. There's a link to the recipe, or it might even be actually in the text of the Facebook post, and we also have it on reverb.org. You can go there where you'll see this video later for those who are just tuning in late or whatever. Well, let's talk about it. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a lot of goodies. Well, first we're going to start with some roux. This is flour and this is oil. and we're going to mix them all together, and I'm going to show you what's up. For all you new brewers, sorry, I don't know how to turn that off. So I'm going to get a pan like so, and let me get this down a little bit for you. I'm going to put my oil in. Oh, it looks really hot. Really hot and delicious. See if we don't burn all this flour. So what we're trying to do is not burn the flour. Right now this pan is nice and hot, and it's bubbling. And the color it looks right there is what we're going to call a blonde roux. There's only 5 sauces. Did you know that? There's only 5 sauces in the world.
Is that right?
Yeah, there's only 5 sauces. They call it a lot of different things. You know, you have, that good old gravy. That's about what this is. We're not going to go through all the 5. I
got ketchup, mustard, mayonnaise. There's 3.
No. Those are condiments, pal. Those are condiments.
Oh, you're right. I can't see.
You got a beurre blanc sauce. You got we're not going to go there. So I'm going to cook this roux for about 30 minutes, but we're not going to cook it for 30 minutes right here. What we're going to do is we're going to stepping up. Ready to step up. All right, what I got here is a roux I cooked last night for about 30 minutes. I want to stir it up.
Do you want to get to that nice brown?
Stir it up. So I'm going to speed this up, and I want to add some to this. There we go. It's nice chocolatey. It's going to mix in with our other stuff.
And so you want that nice brown color, right? At the end of the 30 minutes, that's what you're going for?
You definitely want this nice brown. You want it to look about like that.
Yeah. That looks nice.
So now we just change colors. Now it's nice and dark. This is just oil and flour.
Wow.
Oil and flour. We're burning that flour up until it's nice and dark. And it's going to give it a nice, almost a burnt popcorn flavor, which no one likes burnt popcorn. But this one's not bad. So while that's doing its thing, as you are a professional roux maker, you could probably walk away.
All right.
Professional, and I'm walking away. But you always try to keep it going. I'm walking away so I can cut some things. I'm going to cut what we call is the Holy Trinity. It's pretty much, if you look on the side here, we got bell peppers, onions, and celery.
All right.
The Son, the Father, and the Holy Ghost. All right, Holy Trinity. And then we have some garlic. We'll call that the preacher. And so we're going to throw this in.
Are you going to do this for every ingredient? Are you going to have some sort of analog to?
We're going to have, this one is the Popeye.
Christianity.
Now we're going to throw.
I'm going to challenge you on everything that you do.
Everything's got a thing. Everything's a thing. I learned to cook gumbo when I was a little kid with my dad in Mississippi. And,
I was going to ask. Well, I was going to ask about why you chose gumbo.
Well, because you better pick something that you cooked a million times. So this is about it. So what we got is we got our veggies, the Holy Trinity, the celery, the onions, and the bell peppers. It would be a mirepoix, Frenchy, if you had substituted the green onions for carrots.
That's right.
But, they don't have a lot of carrots in the South. We make green peppers faster, we're going to say. So that's doing its thing. It's going to get, what's it called? Loose. Onions are going to be transparent. It's going to be beautiful. In the meantime, well, that's burning itself and doing it, whatever it's going to do. We're going to take.
Hopefully not burning.
Oh, it's burning the best. It's going to be the best. Oh, it's magic. Someone said magic right there.
That's right.
I'm trying to watch the comments too. Chef Dan in the house. Anyway, so we're going to take some andouille sausage. We're going to take some spices. We're going to take this crab leg. We're going to throw that in last. But until then, we're going to get some chicken. We're going to throw some chicken in the oven. I got some chicken right here. Looks delicious. I got my Miller. I'm going to get some, really work for my salt and pepper. Let this be known. I could probably use one of these for Christmas. The ones that go like.
Let it be known to whoever might be listening and wants to give you a gift.
I'll put it on my Amazon list, guys. Check it out. So we're gonna get a little bit of seasoning on some beautiful chicken here. Oh, seasoning, wonderful. I'm gonna take it to the oven, and I want you guys to come along. Here we go.
Yeah.
So, got the oven on about 350. I'm gonna put this bad boy in here, and then we're gonna put it in the oven, and we're gonna take one out because we're already ready for this. We're already ready for this.
Kitchen magic. That was kitchen magic again.
That was kitchen magic. We did it with the roux. We did it with the chicken. We're gonna keep up with this magic. It's gonna keep going. Chicken, you cook. This guy, he's cooking. He's loving life. We'll give him a I love you stir, just a little stir to show that I care.
Yeah.
All right, boom.
Hey, while you're stirring, I just want to quickly comment on, because this is actually the first episode where we've had some meats. And yeah. So yeah, we've been, the easy way obviously is to just avoid meat altogether, and you're cooking sustainably, especially if you're locally sourced vegetables. No. This is not an apology. This is an awesome moment, because the reality is we want to be inclusive here. This isn't a vegetarian show. It's not a vegan show.
Good.
So this is important to talk about when you do eat meat, if you do eat meat, how can we make it more sustainable? So chicken, organic chicken.
Always free range. I used to be a butcher, and I used to be a butcher too. So it's a lot of good ways to have meat, and there's a lot of crappy ways to have meat. Go to Whole Foods, get it free range, get it antibiotic free. I have kids, and me and the ex-wife are always about, don't get all this stuff with all these hormones and these antibiotics, because you're passing it down to these kids, and your kids start getting bigger, faster. I think it's as a chef, it's always been a huge thing. When you go back to my parents and what shit they were eating, and then they have us, and then I have a kid. I have a son that's allergic to soy. How did you become allergic to soy?
Right.
Soy's in everything. So I think it's about the chain of where we've been eating as our grandparents, and then it goes down the line. So where, all these allergens are coming up, and it's a worldwide thing, and it's very scary because you don't know what you can eat, where you can eat it. You don't know where your food comes from. So it's best to be, vegan, but if you're not, go get some real stuff.
Get to know your farmer, and get to know your local butcher, get to know where
Fisherman's Wharf. I went to the Fisherman's Wharf here in Redondo and picked this up from them. I know it was fished there.
Yeah, and those king crab legs are actually, so one of our partners on sustainability is EDF, and they have a resource for seafood. It's seafood.edf.org. And also a new partner of ours for this episode is Oxfam, and they have an Eat for Good resource as well. If you go to oxfamamerica.org, and you can check it out there. And it's in the link. It's also in the context. I think it's in the copy here of the post.
Yeah, it's when you eat real food, you don't have to really eat a lot. You ever notice that? There's a lot of things we put in the factory food that makes you want to eat the whole bag.
Right.
There's something wrong with the system.
Well, if you have a chance, I don't know where you are in the recipe, if this is a reasonable break, but something you showed us before you go into the recipe, if it's okay.
Yes.
Can you show us your little museum of mother? So you're doing a lot of making of stuff at home, and I think that is a big part of being sustainable, right?
So are you? You've got a mother in your refrigerator of sourdough.
I got a sourdough starter going. It's true.
That is so hard to do. But yeah, I'll get you guys on it. Here, let's check it out. Because
you've got like a museum, right?
A beautiful opportunity to make things because I'm home forever. No, I got a SCOBY motel.
And for those who aren't familiar with SCOBYs, can you just talk about that for a sec?
All right. Have you ever had kombucha, ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah.
Kombucha is a tea that is alive. It's a live culture, probiotics. And if you got heartburn a lot, like your buddy Dan Kelly here, let's drink something better for your belly. So what I got is I take tea, sweet tea. You can take it from what's a good place that has really sweet tea? Papa's Chicken, right?
Jeez.
And you go take one bottle of kombucha and throw that into a gallon of that sweet tea, and let it sit for a few weeks until it becomes clear. And these are SCOBYs. Wow,
they look like aliens.
All these are SCOBYs. We I just made them. These things floating is a scoby. Normally it floats to the top, but I just got finished making them because I'm making hard kombucha.
All right, we're gonna have you come back for a kombucha recipe, maybe.
It took a month to make the hard kombucha. It takes like 2 weeks to make the regular kombucha. Once that's done, and you make this one, then as you can see, I like bullet rye. Right?
Yeah.
I'm recycling, ladies and gentlemen.
Perfect. That's it. You're reusing, even better.
Oh yeah.
All right, sorry, I didn't mean to throw you way off your recipe here. Let's get back into it. I apologize.
Can we just stick to the Gumbo here, you know? Flaunting all these episodes of awesomeness. We can do this again. We can definitely do this again. Right now, all right, we were at the chicken. We're at the meat. We're at the lovely stuff. We got our vegetables. We got our roux going, and this back in the back of the back. The chicken that we just pulled out of the oven, we got it right here. I went ahead and cooked some other chicken, so this one has cooled down a little bit. Let me get you right here.
Yeah. And again, for those who are following along or want to do this recipe later, the recipe is online at reverb.org. And also, I believe we have the recipe here in the copy, or at least a link to it.
That's right. So I'm going to take this chicken. Let me wash my hands. Hold on. I can't do it. I can't do it with sticky hands, man.
Got to keep those hands clean.
That's no joke. Make sure you're sanitizing your hands out there, ladies and gentlemen, for this quarantine world we're in. Oh, hold on.
Uh-oh, he's going somewhere else to wash his hands again.
No, I needed the power for this computer. It's going to go away.
Oh yeah, don't go away. That would don't leave me here all by myself. I don't have anything to cook for people. I would just throw them. I just throw them the inside of my glass. That's it.
Matter of fact, let's do that.
Cheers.
Cheers
again.
buddy. It's getting so much pressure in here.
No, there's no pressure. It's all friendly in here. You're doing great, by the way. If we just want to have a little, like, 3/4 of the way moment to reflect on what's happened so far, I'm very happy with what's going on. Can't wait to see what you're making here.
Let's do it. It's really coming together quite well. Right now, we've made the roux. That's flour and oil. Got it in a nice burn, nice little caramel, popcorny flavor. Nice smell. And we threw in the onions, celery, and green bell peppers. That holy trinity. It is getting nice and translucent right now. We put in some chicken in the oven. We got the chicken out and we shredded it up. And we got our spices here, which we're about to add with some andouille sausage. I got 2 different kinds because one is smoked sausage and one is andouille. And they're beautiful. Andouille is a Cajun sausage, nice spices. And I got some salt and pepper, some smoked paprika, and some cayenne. And we're going to throw all this in there right now.
Awesome. And in the interest of conclusion, for those who are vegan, there is Tofurkey makes it an andouille substitute. It's not bad.
No, so, I'm huge on the vegetarian kick, but it's good for meatless Mondays, I call them. I'll have a little meatless Mondays.
Reverb has a bunch of meatless Monday stuff too. Actually, you can go to our website and see that we have a bunch of meatless recipes there as well if you're interested in that. But back to you.
I really should have done vegan, huh? Are you trying to?
No, not at all. I'm not. I just not
do this again. You know,
this whole thing is just to guilt trip you. Not at all. No, look.
I just messed up everything.
Like we said, I think it's important. Like, this is about every. Did you just give me the finger? Oh, I feel a little better. Yeah.
No, you don't deserve the finger.
This is not at all, like I said, not a guilt trip thing. And this is about acknowledging that there are people that not everyone's vegetarian in this world. So for people who eat meat, we got to talk about it. And it's good to know. That looks delicious.
Oh my gosh. That is delicious. Oh man. So now I'm going to add my beautiful chicken stock that I made last night. I like to, I really don't like to throw away anything. I don't like to throw away my veggies. As you saw, I don't even like throwing away my bullet rye bottles. Okay. So let me show you what I do. For all you veggie lovers, you know, when you're cutting up vegetables, I think it's really important that you save your vegetables. You save the ends of the onions. And you save the bell peppers, you save the celery, And then what I do is I get a big bag and I put it all in the freezer. And then after this bag fills up, which is probably after today, I will make a veggie stock or a chicken stock or a beef stock with your leftover trimmings. That
Perfect.
way, it's kind of ridiculous that you have to buy it whenever you're throwing it away every day.
No, it makes sense.
Well, now with this quarantine stuff, it's kind of crazy that we are just you gotta limit your store. You gotta limit your access to the world because it's going to be awry out there.
It's a good reminder to just kind of value the resources you possess and not to just chuck stuff and use it.
Besides, you make better stock anyway.
That's exactly. Wow.
Dark ass chicken stock. I think I burnt it. whatever. So we're gonna add about a gallon or whatever. Oh my gosh. Whatever, we're going for the big. We're gonna invite everybody over in the neighborhood. Everyone's coming over in the neighborhood. So boom, right there. That's the magic. Yeah, you let that cook for about maybe 2 to 3 hours. I'd say some people let it cook all day, but I want to say 2 to 3 hours. And what you want is it not to be. Right now, if you tasted it, it would taste chalky from the flour not being, in the sauce yet. And in a few hours, that all the flour just kind of gets so soft that it just becomes a thick soup. And at the end, you will throw on this the shrimp and the crab legs. And since this one isn't technically ready, we'll do that magic thing again, huh?
All right, but don't do the magic yet. I don't want you to. Okay, good. Okay,
we're not going to do magic yet.
Don't do the magic. Don't do the big magic trick yet, because I still things that I want to talk about. Yeah, there you go.
A lot of magic up these sleeves, people. A lot more sleeve magic to go.
I do want to talk about. So as part of this, Cliff Bar is a partner of this show, and as part of it, they're donating 1,000 Cliff Bars to the guest chef's organization of choice. And you picked the Sidewalk Project.
Sidewalk Project. If you haven't heard of it, it's the new thing. Sliced bread, newest thing. It's sliced bread. We've got a huge problem with homelessness, and I think us as that aren't homeless has a big problem with the word. Because if you go out there to Skid Row and to every big city's got a Skid Row, and what you got is a lot of houselessness. There's people who aren't homeless as it's an epidemic or something. They're houseless. They don't have a house, but they don't, you need an address. You need all these things to actually get a job, to actually get that check in the mail from the government. It's a whole big thing, So what we're trying to do here in LA and other spots and with the Sidewalk Project, you have some cool people, Back Hop, that's a good band, and Beebs and the Money Makers, and they've gotten together with other people like Fat Mike from NoFX and some other people. We all go down there with music instruments and let people play. Bring life back to them. Like your houselessness. It's not homelessness. Let's go out there and treat them like people. So this is going to go a long way. The Cliff Bar is going to go a long way to add to the packs for food and everything. Toiletries that we get them. These are. We try to go out there, I think, once a month or every few weeks, and I think they got it pretty much in San Francisco, here in LA, Santa Barbara. We're trying to get it more on the East Coast, but all these things do help. It's an epidemic too, keeping mankind sustainable, keeping all of us thriving. If it's a mental health, let's get mental help. If it's houselessness, like let's change this week. There's definitely a way, but whenever we're thinking of homeless, it's putting a stigma on it to where they're homeless, you can't help them.
Right.
No, they have a houseless problem. Let's see if we can fix the outcome.
Yeah. And hunger and access to food, especially during this pandemic, has been particularly acute. So it's awesome to have Cliff Bar as a partner. They've already given 7 million bars to healthcare workers on the front line, and then they just committed just the other week to another 7 million bars specifically for hungry kids and families this summer. So We'll
Thank you
grab
for
in
the
the-
bars.
Yeah,
Gives
good
me
job.
goosebumps to know that we got things like that,
Yeah,
going
it's
on.
awesome.
In
It's
LA,
awesome.
I think in a lot of few spots, they have a lot of the homeless in hotels now. So it's helping. And I went to Oregon to do a private party 2 weeks ago. It was really cool, awesome to play for people. And we went through San Francisco. We went through Santa Barbara, slow to make it back down to LA, and it's pretty amazing to what they're doing. Like in San Francisco, they've in their stadium, they've taken all the homeless in. So I think it's really neat at this point because the cities, they can do something. They can assign caseworkers for that individual, and that individual has a caseworker, and they're working together with insurance and where you got to go. Everybody needs that reality step to even step up. I mean, being a musician on the road, you're almost as close as homeless as you ever will be. Like you're out there on the road, you don't have a place to stay most of the time. You probably were going to stay with some fans, and they're going to board the whole band, and they're probably going to cook for you. But that's some hospitality that I think everyone should get. Everyone should get in the world.
Agreed. Well, that's wonderful. All right, so let's finish up this recipe, and I want to see what the magic moment is all about.
This magic moment. All right, let me take the. I actually made this awesome, beautiful dish earlier because it's going to take a while. So let me get that one out of the oven.
Or we could wait 2 to 3 hours, and you could just play a 2 to 3 hour acoustic set right now from your kitchen.
It's the best idea ever. It's the best idea ever.
Just what you want to do right now.
You really know me. You really know me. Like
well, we've got to know each other, haven't we?
I love you. Me and you. Bow. We just met a little bit ago.
We're
And I feel like we
friends.
got really connected here. Really, really connected. All right, where was that? So, here's what we got going on here. I got a beautiful pan of some beautiful gumbo. Let's do better than that. I'm going to put it in a bowl. All right.
Let's do the whole thing. Oh yeah,
Boom,
let's see that. We've been building up this magic moment. We better, we got to deliver to everyone who's following at home.
I just want to show everybody at home what is holding up my laptop. This is how we really get down when it comes. This is the behind the scenes. We got a bunch of lights, and I got the dog food container holding up this beautiful.
Oh, I'm holding up my laptop with a container as well.
See? What's up? This is real professional stuff. Like on the news, I feel like we're on the news. We're really getting like everyone else on the news. Anyway, so what we got here is the dish. So it looks great.
Wow, that's gorgeous.
Beautiful crab legs. This steamed rice. This is long grain, regular long grain rice. Google how to make rice. I'm not going to show you how to make rice today.
People can figure that out. That's not the hard part. Can you give us an extreme close up of that bowl? Like it's so beautifully plated.
It is really good. Hold on.
Oh yeah. Oh, this is where I wish we could actually smell and taste what you're tasting right there. That is gorgeous. Dan Kelly, Fortunate Gumbo.
Boom. I don't know how to get a better shot of that.
That is that looks great. That's a great shot. That is legit. Well done. Wow.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It's all in a day's work. It's all in a day's work. Cooking wouldn't be cooking without cooking with you guys. It's a true fact.
It's been a pleasure, honestly, having you here. This is great. You're quite the character, and I love it. You're a colorful character, wonderful chef. And you have a cooking show. Do you want to plug that?
Hey, yeah. We've had quite a few episodes. We were doing really good. It's called Chef Boy RDK. Sounds really familiar, huh?
It does sound awfully familiar.
Got a good ring to it. Something that really brings it back to home.
Chef Boy RDK.
Chef Boy RDK. You can check it out on YouTube. We're trying to get 1,000 followers right now. We're almost there. We have 4 or 5 episodes, and then the guy that's helping me, Mike Davis, he got hit by a car last month. So we haven't been doing any more episodes. So thank you for this opportunity to get back in the kitchen, make some gumbo. But for you listeners out there, go check out Chef Boyardee on YouTube. More things will be coming. We are editing all those videos that we have made while he cannot walk. Damn, he was riding a bicycle and a car just got pa-pa! Quarantine times. Be safe out there. Wear the mask. Don't get hit by a car.
Yeah, and cook. Enjoy the time you have in the kitchen. So thanks so much for bringing that recipe to everyone and to us. I'm going to try. I've tried all the recipes so far, and they've gone really well. For those who are just tuning in for the first time this week, we have 8 other episodes. So please go check it out at reverb.org/quarantine-kitchen, or you can just look here on Facebook at Reverb's Facebook page and find it all. It's all here for you. And thanks so much, Dan. Really appreciate it. Really great to meet you. I hope we stay in touch. And
don't mind, buddy.
And yeah, maybe we'll do a kombucha recipe or something.
Let's do it. Ginger beer, kombucha, whatever.
Awesome.
Well, you know what we can even do is gyros. Remember those gyros? What do you call them? Gyros or gyros?
Yeah, it depends where you're from.
Tomato. Yeah, bada bing. Bada bing.
You're from Gyro.
Yeah.
Anyway, such a pleasure. Thanks to Cliff Bar, thanks to Oxfam, and thanks to our partners who are cross-posting this. And thanks again to Dan Kelly, Fortunate Youth.
Thank you, guys. Be good.
Appreciate it. Have a good one. Stay safe, everybody.
Ow!